School welcomes you all to learn in this quarantine period. So, in today's session, we are going to learn about extraction of crude metal. It is also from the lesson metallurgy. Okay, let us continue with that. So, extraction of metal from concentrated ores. So, in the first two videos, we have seen how the ores can be concentrated, and now we are going to learn how these concentrated ores can be extracted. Extraction of metal from concentrated ore. There are two main types: conversion of ore into its oxide form and then conversion of oxide into a metal. So, what are the methods to be followed in that? Roasting, calcination, and then smelting. About roasting and calcination, we have seen in the last video. So first one, conversion of ores into oxides. What is roasting? Roasting is nothing but it is a conversion of sulfide ores into oxides so that the concentrated ore is oxidized by heating it with the excess of oxygen in a suitable furnace below its melting point of the metal. What it means? We are just converting the sulfide ore into oxides. Once again, this concentrated ore can be oxidized by means of excess of oxygen, because I already told you that calcination is only the absence of oxygen, whereas roasting means it is in the presence of excess of oxygen. And the next one, the examples of roasting: all the sulfide ores of PBS, that is lead sulfide and then zinc sulfide, copper sulfide. These sulfide ores are treated with the excess of oxygen. On heating, it is converted into oxides. So, lead oxide, zinc oxide, and then copper oxide. So, in all these cases, we can see SO2, sulfur dioxide gas, can be liberated. So, whatever may be the sulfide ore, it can be easily get oxidized by means of this roasting. How can we remove impurities from this roasting? So, what are the impurities? Arsenic, sulfur, and phosphorus. These impurities can also be removed by means of treating it with the excess of oxygen. Arsenic is converted into arsenic oxide, sulfur is converted into sulfur dioxide, and phosphorus is converted into phosphorus pentoxide. Okay. So, P2O5 and P4O10 both are same, phosphorus pentoxide. Next one, calcination. So, calcination is nothing but the same thing, strongly heating, whereas in the absence of air. So, roasting and calcination difference also we have seen already. Roasting means the same concentrated ore is strongly heated in the presence of air. Calcination means the concentrated ore is strongly heated in the absence of air. So, during this process, the water of crystallization, that is nothing but water molecules. Water molecules can be liberated or it can be escaped, and it can be carried out with the limited supply of air also. So, some of the examples of calcination: lead carbonate, it is on heating it is converted into lead oxide and carbon dioxide. Calcium carbonate, it is also converted into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. And then zinc carbonate, on heating it is also converted into zinc oxide and carbon dioxide. So, in all these three examples, all these examples, you can see that there is a liberation of carbon dioxide gas. Okay. In the case of roasting, we have seen that there is a liberation of sulfur dioxide gas, whereas in calcination, there is a liberation of carbon dioxide. And then reduction of metal oxides. So, this is the second process or second method of extraction of concentrated ore: smelting and then auto reduction. In this smelting, we can see reduction by carbon, reduction by hydrogen, and reduction by metal. So, one by one, let us discuss. First one is smelting. So, what is smelting process? In this smelting process, we need three materials. First one is flux. So, flux is nothing but it is a chemical substance. It forms an easily fusible slag. Easily fusible slag fusible means melting. So, a chemical substance which can easily melt with the gangue particles. Gangues are nothing but impurities. And the next one, reducing agent. So your reducing agent can be either coke, that is carbon or carbon monoxide, or in sometimes aluminum can also be used. And the next one, hold this mixture is melted by heating and elevated temperature. So what is mean by elevated temperature? So above the melting point of the metal, it is called as elevated temperature. So extraction of copper is an example of smelting process. So copper pyrite, when it is treated with oxygen, in presence of oxygen, it is converted into, as you can see in the copper pyrite, there are two metals, copper as well as iron. So both of them separately it is giving its sulfide with the liberation of sulfur dioxide. And then ferric sulfide or iron sulfide, it is treated with oxygen to give iron oxide and sulfur dioxide. Once again, this iron oxide and silica, SiO2, when they combine together, it forms a slag, that is ferrous silicate, FeSiO3. So whenever a flux and gangumatic molecules combine together, that is what called as slag. Okay. So this is just a summary about extraction of copper. Next one, mate. What is this mate? Mate is nothing but when this copper sulfide, whether it can be in a liquid state or in the solid state, that's why I have mentioned this as L, S. And when it is treated with 3 molecules of oxygen, it is converted into copper oxide and with the liberation of sulfur dioxide. And then this copper oxide can be once again treated with copper sulfide to give copper and sulfur dioxide. So now we can get the metallic copper. Now this metallic copper can be solidified because here in the equation we mentioned this as liquid, isn't it? So the metallic copper should be solidified. It has a blistered appearance due to the liberation of the sulfur dioxide. So this blistered, this liquid copper is called as blistered copper. The next method, reduction by carbon. So oxide metals, oxide ore of any metal, it can be mixed with coke. Coke is nothing but carbon. When it is treated with carbon in a furnace and on heating strongly, we can reduce the metal. Okay, and then metal oxide. So this process can be applied to the metals which do not form carbides with carbon at the reduction temperature also. So this is applicable for the metals which cannot form carbides also. And then reduction by carbon examples, zinc oxide when it is treated with carbon, it gives zinc plus is a carbon monoxide. And then manganese oxide on treatment with carbon, it gives manganese plus carbon monoxide. And then Cr2O3, it is nothing but chromic oxide. Chromic oxide when it is treated with carbon, it gives chromium and carbon monoxide. So these are the examples of reduction by carbon. Next one is reduction by hydrogen. So in this method, it can be applied to the oxides of metals like iron, lead and copper having very less electropositive character than hydrogen. So examples I have mentioned here, silver oxide and ferric oxide. Silver oxide, it is converted into silver with the liberation of water molecule, and the same thing for iron oxide also. So once again, reduction by hydrogen. One more example we have given, nickel oxide and carbon monoxide and hydrogen. So this carbon monoxide and hydrogen, this combination is very much important. As you have studied in the 11th standard, it is called as water gas or syngas. Okay, it is combined to liberate the nickel metal as a solid with the liberation of carbon dioxide and water molecules. Reduction by metal. So metallic oxides such as chromic oxide Cr2O3, it can be reduced by the aluminothermic process. So what is this aluminothermite process? In this aluminothermite process, we can take this chromic oxide in a crucible, the fire clay crucible. Crucible, it is a apparatus which can withstand at a higher temperature. That is what called as fire clay crucible. Now to initiate this reduction process, an ignition mixture is added. Ignition mixture is very important. What is that? Magnesium and barium peroxide. So barium peroxide, when it is treated with magnesium, it forms barium oxide and magnesium oxide. So aluminothermic process, once again I have given here. During this reaction, chromium is replaced by means of aluminium. Okay. So as such, you can see in this equation, chromium is replaced by means of aluminium. And then reduction of reactive metals. What are the reactive metals? Sodium, potassium and calcium. These can be easily reduced by means of this equations. B2O3 plus sodium, it gives boron, and then sodium oxide. Rubidium with magnesium, it forms rubidium and magnesium oxide. Titanium oxide plus magnesium, it forms titanium and magnesium oxide. Auto reduction, it is a final process. So auto reduction means itself it can easily reduce. Any reducing agent is not necessary. That is what it is called as auto. Itself it can reduce. It doesn't want anybody else. Okay. So mercuric sulfide, when it is treated with oxygen, it forms mercury and sulfur dioxide.